Welcome to Diamonds and Rust. I'm your host, the Stray Cat. Good films and bad films are by no means exclusive to any one genre. But let's face it, the horror genre is known for putting out some pretty bad stuff. And in a genre known for putting out so many bad films, this one may be the worst. I'm talking, of course, about the cinematic abomination known as Hell's Highway. The film is brought to us by Brain Damage Films, who makes Asylum and Full Moon look like Universal Studios and MGM by comparison. The opening narration sounds like it was done with a megaphone.
Take a road trip with me, gorehounds.
It plays over a shot of what looks like a Hot Topic manager who's wearing the title card on his fucking jacket. This gives tacky a whole new meaning.
As she appears like a mirage, ready to murder again.
You know, I think they were going for a Hitchhiker style opening here, but whereas the Hitchhiker was mysterious and cool and gave an intro that was relevant to the story, this guy just looks like his car broke down. Nah, that didn't work at all. The credits, or the leather jacket, say Traces of Death, so either it was intended for another film, or that was this film's original title, or... who gives a shit. Obviously the filmmakers didn't. We get yet another opening narration that has virtually nothing to do with the plot before the credits roll over shots of the desert.
Kids, let me tell you a story. It's about a pioneer and her husband that traveled out west in the turn of the century. But they were trapped in this valley, starving. The husband killed himself so the wife would have something to eat.
A man picks up a young girl hitchhiking. Go figure. Hey, what's with all these crosses? Is there a pet cemetery out here? He hides a knife before she gets in, indicating that he's a psycho, I suppose. The man offers her some water that turns out to be poisonous. As she runs into the desert, he attacks her and stabs her repeatedly. The man turns out to be a priest. After he buries her, he hears a voice calling him, and then...
El Diablo!
Time to die, preacher!
I'm not sure what I just saw, but since this movie loves narration, I'm sure it'll all be explained by the end. We then cut to a group of teenagers filming themselves getting wasted on Sprite as they drive through the desert.
This is Chris, our driver. As you know, there's another carload of drunk slobs just like us, you know? We're having a race to Los Angeles, and we seem to be losing.
We seem to be losing the race.
Target! Target!
Shout!
Oh, my God! Okay. Oh, hey! All right, none of that.
Okay.
Oh, and in the death seat...
What the hell was that? Did they use the sound of a railroad crossing but then didn't show the train? They come across the same girl that was stabbed to death and debate on picking her up.
This is how most horror movies start.
No, it isn't. Most horror films, along with most other films, use real title cards and don't use too shitty narrations. The quiet girl, Sarah, in the back seat, makes the final decision with a very convincing monologue.
Yeah, she could need help. We should stop. Stop for her.
Fine piece of acting. They run over some garbage as they stop to pick up the hitchhiker, and then proceed to pour even more garbage over the pet cemetery. Well, so much for keeping America beautiful. What would Iron Eyes Cody think about this?
People start pollution. People can stop it.
Fucking litterbugs. They engage in some very uncomfortable small talk with the hitchhiker as she explains what the crosses are all about.
Those are markings for road fatalities, the places where people died. And they call it the Devil's Highway.
I thought it was Hell's Highway. Still, Devil's Highway's closer than Traces of Death.
Tell us about the Devil's Freeway again. Wait.
What? Now it's Devil's Freeway? This movie needs to make up its mind. I shouldn't be this confused on a movie that was shot on a budget of about $200.
The legend of the Devil's Highway. It goes all the way back to the American pioneers.
Oh, now we're back to Devil's Highway. I give up. Movie, you can call yourself whatever you want. It's not going to help make you a better film. She gives us some pointless exposition about cannibals before she reveals that she killed the other group that was traveling with them.
I hitched a ride with them, too. Too bad they never made it. Why do you say that? Because I killed them.
When they try to kick her out of the car, she pulls out a gun and forces them to keep driving.
I'm gonna sit here, and you're gonna drive.
Then we get the only redeeming scene in the entire film.
Like I said, let's put on a show. Oh, God. This little piggy went to the market. It's kind of like being a porn star, huh?
Eventually, they succeed in throwing her out, and once down the road, they stop to have a drink. Right, because now drinking while driving is not a good idea, but pulling over while a homicidal maniac with a loaded gun is a quarter mile behind you is. But maybe Chris just needed a moment to freak out.
I'm freaking out. I want to go and page my bro. Freaking out.
Well, I'm convinced after that emotional delivery. They try to call the police.
I got the highway patrol's answering machine.
Look, let's just hold.
But apparently 911 was out to lunch. The hitchhiker, or Lucinda, gets picked up by Ron Jeremy. Well, now the fingering scene makes a little more sense.
I make low-budget movies. This company in Tempe handles my films. And they rip me off.
I'm starting to think the film's going a little meta.
Make a lot of money in the movie business?
No, I get ripped off a lot.
So do the viewers, my friend. So do the viewers. She pulls a nice spit on your grave move, but it's an unusually long time before he realizes it.
Told you to watch your nails! Whose blood is that? Bitch! Oh God! Oh God! Oh my God! Holy shit!
You know, I have a hard time believing that this explosion was shot specifically for this film. It seems very Golden Globus to me. Another production company that is somehow better than Brain Damage Films. They find a camera that belongs to Chris's brother sitting on a rock. But since the battery is dead, they can't see what's on the tape. Lucinda pages Chris from his brother's phone, so...
I was kind of worried about my brother, but I'm pretty sure he's okay, since I got that page.
Again, I'm convinced. They decide to camp for the night, putting good use to the chainsaw that they so conveniently brought. Though the chain must be dull, since it takes 5 minutes to cut through a log that's only about 4 inches thick. All for a campfire that he never even makes. One of the girls has a psychic dream of the murders of the other group. Through a fucking camera, I might add. But wakes up only to find out that she's in another dream with the devil. The next morning they come across Lucinda hitchhiking once again. But this time she doesn't wait for them to stop before she starts attacking them. They do a surprisingly sensible thing by running her over, but act pretty appalled when they find out they've killed her.
It's horrible.
Do something!
Gilligan takes the phone from the mutilated body. They hightail it out of there, and then this happens. They're clearly very disturbed by all of this.
This is the worst trip ever!
Gilligan shows Chris that his pager was the last number dialed from the phone. I think they tried just a little too hard to build suspense for this scene. Apparently, while taking the phone, he also took the battery. They view the tape, which begins in night vision but changes to color for some reason.
Hello, losers. Man, we are so far ahead of you, my stupid little brother. We're so far ahead of you that we're actually going to camp out here tonight.
I can see the bad acting runs in the family. After a seance, Lucinda appears and kills the group off. Lucinda once again appears, this time wielding a chainsaw, and attacks the four of them, managing to mutilate Chris in the process. They get away, and Gilligan tells Chris that he'll be okay.
You're gonna be okay, just like in school. Remember when you tried to catch that ball and you fell on that wooden fence?
Yes, having your arm cut off and your intestines ripped open with a chainsaw is exactly like falling onto a fence. They pull over, and once again Lucinda appears, and they run off. As Lucinda kills the blonde girl with a chainsaw, another Lucinda shows up with a gun and shoots Gilligan through the eye. Sarah runs off and begins having visions. Oh, hey, there's that train, only an hour later. Chainsaw Lucinda jumps out but is shot by one of the crazies. We then cut to Sarah in a military hospital where it's explained that Lucinda was a clone, or 4 clones.
We took one of our staff members and we cloned her 4 times.
This is horrible.
I couldn't agree more. This sci-fi twist makes an already bad movie somehow even worse.
You would make a perfect subject for a new cloning experiment.
I apologize. That sci-fi twist was much better than this conspiracy shit. A looking worse for wear Lucinda shows up and starts shooting everyone off. The end. Holy shit, was that bad. Some films are bad, but they still have a certain charm to them that make them entertaining. This one does not. I deem this video shot excrement rust. Pure rust. With acting reminiscent of Tommy Wiseau, effects that make the Godzilla films look like they were the works of Rick Baker, and a script so lame that it was probably written on the back of an adult bookstore business card, I deem this thing an utter failure. Well, until next time, I'm the Stray Cat, and this was Diamonds and Rust.